Well, good evening, Tallahassee. I'm student meteorologist Michael Annan.
And I'm student meteorologist Jordan Frazier.
And Jordan, it was one of those days where it finally felt like spring outside. Yesterday was a cloudy, gloomy kind of day.
Yeah, we've had a couple of those cloudy, gloomy days, and luckily we don't have a few of those left in the forecast. We have these nice, warm days that are actually at average seasonal temperatures.
Yeah, the rest of the work week is looking absolutely awesome for any outdoor activities you have, like going out to the golf course or going out onto Landis to enjoy the sun, since we haven't experienced it in these last few days. Like, This is the first day we've gotten abundant sunshine since Saturday.
Yes, and it's also been significantly colder this morning. I had on jeans and a long sleeve shirt, and I actually regretted later in the day wearing a long sleeve shirt. So
yeah, it warms up.
Definitely you want those layers.
Yeah, it warms up very quickly out there, so that's the thing. In April, you still get those chilly mornings, but it does get into the 70s and 80s as we head into the afternoon down here in Tallahassee. So it's finally feeling like spring, and also the pollen count is up there. I know in Atlanta, the pollen count's up in the 5,000 range.
Yeah, I
really
was actually
high.
checking the forecast for it. We're expecting between around 10 and 11 on a scale from 0 to 12.
Yeah.
In terms of that. It will actually go down once we have a cold front. Push some moisture through our area and help wash it all away.
Yeah, the cold front does have severe weather potential for other parts of the country. We'll get into that later into the show. But for now, let's send it out to the wall with Sarah.
Thanks, guys. So today, as you said, it was a really nice day. We were a little bit above average of that high of 77, but not too. It was a little bit low, not too shabby. That was really nice outside. We did hit 55, a little bit warmer. That's what I meant. The low was a little bit warmer than our average, but really nice day. It was like we had the best of both worlds. It was cool in the morning, then we got into the afternoon, it warmed up really nice. Currently it is 76 degrees right now. The sun is shining, so there was not really a cloud in the sky for today. It was really nice outside. The breeze, we have a little bit of some gusty winds at 9 miles per hour, so it's kind of nice outside. A little bit of a cool down as you go out to your classes. Not too crazy, but really nice outside. Currently right now we're all in the 70s, 76 in Tallahassee, 75 in Quincy. Up there in Bainbridge, a little bit warmer as our hot spot at 77, but as I said, it's not too bad. Pretty much in the 70s, but we will have a warm up when we get in tomorrow. But we'll have that forecast for you at the end during the show. For watches and warnings, we're going to be seeing not too much right now. We just have some flood area watches over by the Mississippi River Valley, and we do have some wind advisories over in the south, which is really bad for them, since Michael's going to talk about more about how they're still in a drought. But other than that, here's this frontal system that we're going to be talking about. That's going to be the main picture of what's going to be coming to our area soon. But for now, what to expect? We're going to have some cool mornings ahead. 80s are coming back, so if you don't like the warm, take advantage of today, but so it's going to be warm. But we're going to have another cold front this weekend, so it will cool down. But for now, I'm going to send it over to the desk with Jordan.
Thanks so much, Sarah. Right now we're going to talk about what happened today in weather history. Let's start off back in 1965. We had severe thunderstorms in the upper Midwest. It spawned 51 tornadoes. That's 5 and 1. 51 tornadoes, killing over 250 people and causing more than $200 million in damage. Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan were actually the hardest hit in the Palm Sunday tornado outbreak. And that's actually surprising, considering that those states are significantly north of what you would consider Tornado Alley here in the United States. Back in 1987, also, there were 10 days of flooding in the northeastern U.S. It finally came to an end after this 10th day. And damage from the flooding due to rain and snow from the snow that melted caused over $1 billion of damage. One of the significant structures that actually was damaged during this was the New York State Thruway Bridge. It claimed 10 lives when it collapsed back in 1987. Into 1988, we saw 16 cities in the western U.S., 9 of which in California, reported new record high temperatures for that day. The afternoon highs reached 95 degrees in Sacramento, California. Granted, this is the middle of April, so this is significantly high, especially for these areas during this time of year. After Sacramento, you also have Bakersfield, California, reached a high of 96. And it was the warmest record that they ever set so early in the season. Back in 1989, there were 44 cities in south, central, and eastern U.S. reported new record low temperatures, so we're on the other end of the spectrum here for that date. Conway, Arkansas reported 25 degrees, and Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas, only 22 degrees. So that's your weather history for today. Let's go ahead and go out to the desk, or out to the wall, where I'm going to go a little bit more local here with your local forecast. Here I go. Right now, let's go ahead and look at this time lapse that we have of Florida State University. It actually doesn't even look much of it like a time lapse because we experienced clear skies throughout the entirety of today. Let's put it into motion for you now. Notice just a couple of clouds going here and there, and here we are now just around sunset time. Currently, we're sitting at a very comfortable, actually very warm, 76 degrees under sunny skies. So it is significantly warm, especially if you're not used to this, but it is actually seasonable for this time of year. Strong winds actually out of the northeast at about 9 miles an hour, so that should help you cool off a little bit before you head into the evening hours. Temperatures around the Big Bend, we're seeing mid-70s dominating the area, 76 in Perry, 76 in Tallahassee, 73 in Thomasville, and 77 up in Bainbridge being the hot spot over there. Dew point, on the other hand, it is significantly dry, so that is going to help out with that heat index, so it doesn't feel super hot outside, but this does really help bring the pollen out. 42 degrees is the dew point in Perry, 38 in Tallahassee, and 38 in Quincy. The only standout spot here is going to be Apalachicola at 59 degrees for their dew point, and that is due to them being by the coast where the water is. Wind speed and direction, notice this change, why it's so dry out, and that's that northerly wind. We're experiencing about 6 miles an hour out of Thomasville, 7 Valdosta, and about 5 here in Tallahassee. We don't expect that wind to keep around for too much longer. It should shift later in the week as that cold front comes along. Radar, not much to speak about, and not much to speak about for the next coming days. The biggest story over here was what Sarah pointed to earlier, and that's going to be our next cold front. Mike will talk a little bit more about that in our national later on. For our future cast heading into the rest of the evening, maybe a couple clouds here and there, but it should be a very nice, clear and calm evening. It should actually result in much cooler temperatures. We're going to drop down into the upper 40s tonight. 48 Tallahassee, 48 Monticello, 49 in Thomasville. Maybe seeing some lower 50s down by the coast because they are a little bit closer to that water where it is a bit warmer at night. Tomorrow, we might hit 80s, but we are going to start to say around upper 70s just to be on the safe side. 79 Monticello, 79 Tallahassee. Bainbridge looking to be about 81 degrees, so that it will be significant for them, especially as those 80s are going to pop into our forecast. Look at Friday and Saturday. Those rain chances are going to start to increase as that cloud cover increases from the upcoming cold front, but those temperatures will increase as well. Sunday is not going to be the best day to go out. We're going to expect some possibly potentially severe storms associated with this front, but we will see a significant cool down. Look at your Monday morning, starting off the work week, nice and sunny, but at a very chilly 46 degrees, even 44 heading onto your Tuesday morning as well. So we will start to see those much more seasonal temperatures reach into our area, but then we will see one final cool down and maybe another one along the way. Is that right, Michael?
We'll see about if we get more cool downs, but it's certainly been a cool spring here in the southeast. But currently, right in the southeast, it is really nice everywhere you look. 78 in Shreveport, 75 in Montgomery. Our cool spot is up towards Charleston and Atlanta, where they're in the 60s at 65 and 68 degrees. But we do have high pressure situated right in the center of the region, so it's been very tranquil and very calm across the southeast. That's what will continue over these next few days. The temperatures, they haven't changed much across the interior portions of the southeast, but down towards northern and central Florida, they're much warmer than this time yesterday. The reason why is because yesterday they were socked in the clouds and rain because of a stationary front situated right across the center of the state. Now that front has moved down south. They had more sunshine today, and therefore they are much warmer. So 11-degree increase and 12-degree increase compared to this time yesterday in Tallahassee and Jacksonville. Dew points are very low across the southeast, one because of high pressure being situated over the center of the region, and the other reason is that cold front moved through a lot of the southeast. The only place where the cold front hasn't moved through yet is Miami, and their dew point's at 66 as a result of that. But they will get some drier air over these next few hours and into tomorrow, so they'll feel the effects of some drier air. Now, the winds show you where high pressure is situated. You can see that counterclockwise flow across the entire southeast. High pressure will move east as we go into these next few days into Thursday, and as a result, we're going to get these southerly winds coming out the Gulf, feeding in moisture ahead of our next cold front as we head into Friday and Saturday, impacting the entire southeast. Now, radar here in Tallahassee is clear, and that's the same story across the entire southeast, and that's going to remain the story as we head into these next few days. But as we head into Friday and Saturday, we'll start to look back towards Texas and Louisiana as they'll have a severe weather threat from this next cold front. We will get into that in my national in just a few minutes. Futurecast shows you how high pressure doesn't allow any cloud cover to develop across the entire southeast. It's going to remain peaceful, tranquil, calm, whatever word you think of when you think of nice, high pressure, calm weather in the southeast. So that's going to be the story for the next few days. Changes will come as we head into Friday and Saturday. Tonight's forecast, clear skies and calm winds will allow us to cool down quickly across the entire southeast. The exception is Central and South Florida, where they'll be in the 60s as their lows. The rest of the southeast will be in the 40s and around 50 degrees in terms of their lows for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, a little warmer than today because of the high pressure system moving into the Atlantic, and southerly winds start to develop, bringing in some warmer air from the Gulf of Mexico. So 80s basically across the interior portion of the southeast, with 70s in towards Atlanta and Tallahassee and Jacksonville. But for now, Sarah and I are here at the desk, and we're going to talk about the warm-up ahead of that next cold front, and that cold front is a classic spring system.
Yeah,
also.
definitely, because you're talking about those winds are coming up from the south, bringing a lot of moisture. That's really what's going to be fueling this cold front that's coming through, which you're going to talk about in your national in the next segment. You're going to be talking about how we have some severe weather outlook.
Yeah, we so a lot of the places in the Midwest, like Chicago, Detroit, they are much warmer than early in the week. Early in the week, they actually got snow. Chicago had to cancel. They had to postpone their opening day because of the snow, but now they're in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, so there's a big contrast. So we could be seeing also, we're going to be seeing tornadoes, maybe some damaging winds in that area again, flash floods, hail.
Yeah, the tornado, hail, and damaging wind threat really ramps up as we head into Friday across the Ohio River Valley and the Mississippi River Valley as we head into Friday and Saturday. But behind that low pressure system situated up in the northern plains, they're going to get some blizzard conditions.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, we're still in April, and they might be still seeing. I saw the news that like one sheriff county was like, we're going to arrest Mother Nature because they've been seeing a lot of snow up. They're still seeing snow, and it's still April.
I know, and this storm system is classic for April. You have the severe weather down towards the southern plains and the Mississippi River Valley, but then up north, where you get that colder air from Canada coming behind that low pressure system, you get the snow. And with the strength of that low, when you have a strong pressure gradient where it gets very strong, you get more winds, and that wind will cause the snow to blow around, and you get some blizzard conditions as a result of that.
So please keep up to date with your weather station for up to date for those news. But for now, Michael's actually going to send it over to our national to talk more about that cold front and what severe weather will bring into our area.
Yeah, we're going to go more into this national forecast in just a sec. There we go. So currently, you can actually see the east is slightly cooler out towards Boston and Washington, D.C. They're in the 40s and 50s. Because of high pressure is situated right here, you saw in the southeast where high pressure is situated from that clockwise flow. It's right around Mississippi and Alabama. So when you have northerly winds, you're getting the cooler air from Canada. So 40s and 50s up towards D.C. and Boston. But out towards the west, you can see in Dallas, Kansas City, and San Antonio, they're on the other side of that high pressure. As a result, winds are coming from the south, much warmer winds coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. Therefore, 80 degrees in Kansas City, 80 in Dallas, 80 in San Antonio. Chicago, much warmer. They got snow on Monday. Now they're sitting in the upper 50s, near 60 degrees. We also have to monitor the southwest, and we'll get into that in just a second of why we have to monitor that. Now, it is much warmer across Kansas City, Chicago, and Detroit, and Memphis this time yesterday because now they're on the other side of that high pressure. So the winds are coming out of the south, bringing warmer air from the Gulf, and therefore it is feeling like spring just for now. That's going to change as we head into the weekend because of that cold front. Relative humidities are pretty low across the entire nation. The one exception is Seattle and Portland because they're getting rain from our next cold front that will impact the rest of the nation. Here's the beginning of the next cold front, some showers and some snow up towards North Dakota and Minneapolis. We do have a lot of rain associated with that cold front in Portland, Seattle, and Northern California. That's just the beginning stages of it. Here's a closer look at that. You're getting some lift in the Cascade Mountains resulting in some snow. They'll get a few inches to about a foot of snow from this. Now here's some enhancement of the lakes, and also there's an upper level low up towards Canada causing some showers in Pennsylvania, Buffalo, Toronto, Cleveland. That should move east as we head into tonight and into tomorrow, and they're going to experience a warm-up just like Chicago, St. Louis, and Detroit as we head into later this work week. Now we're going to fast forward to Friday. The reason why that cold front you saw out towards the west is going to get into the center of the country, and with the temperature contrast and the moisture contrast, you're going to get a big severe weather event in Little Rock, southwestern Missouri, and in the Arklatex region. The brown is an enhanced risk. The yellow is a slight risk. The dark green is a marginal risk. What that means is where you're in Arkansas, you're going to get a very high threat for damaging winds, large hail, and a good chance for a tornado. So it's going to be one of those days where you want to make sure you get your warnings out there. So it's still out towards Friday. We're going to keep you tuned on what this is going to do in terms of Tallahassee on Sunday. But for tonight, you can see very warm across the southern tier of the country with 53 in Kansas City, 60 in Dallas-Fort Worth, but a little chilly up towards Minneapolis. Tomorrow, though, it's very warm across the central tier of the country. Now, I did talk about the fire threat. We do have a major fire threat here in the southwest. The reason for that is it's very dry. They're in a big drought, and also very windy and very warm for this time of year. So fire danger is a really big problem here in the southwest of the United States. But for now, let's send it back to the desk with Sarah and Jordan.
Talking about with like Texas, but they're in the 80s. We don't want those warm temperatures, but we're going to
No.
be seeing some 80s though.
We're going to see lower 80s,
Yeah.
thankfully. None of those large 80s that we're used to, but we don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, but for this week, we're going to have really nice weather, so we're going to be talking about some of the events that we have. So tonight at 7, our softball team is going to be playing against Florida. So that's a really cool game. So that'll be an interesting game.
Definitely. After you finish watching us, we're done in about 20 minutes or 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So then after you finish watching 4FSU weather, why not head out support your Knowles at the softball game? Tomorrow you want to head out as well. We have the men's tennis game at 4 p.m. against Boston College. So after you come back, come and watch some 4FSU weather.
Yeah, definitely. And then also for Friday, we'll have baseball at 6. They'll be playing against Duke. So that'll be another good game to go out and support the Knowles.
Yes, and if you don't have any weekend plans, plan your April 14th to go to the spring football game, where there's actually going to be a performance by Vanilla Ice and Salt and Pepper.
Yeah, so if you're into the 80s and 90s music, you probably would be like, yes, but for us, I only know
I love that kind of music.
Yeah,
so.
I only know like a few songs from them, so I'm like, okay. And then also for the weekend, if you also don't have plans, if you're not really into football, the FSU has the Flying High Circus. They're playing on Friday through Sunday at 7 p.m., so it's free for students, so you can go out there and support our FSU Knows for the circus.
I loved it when I went there for my first time,
it's
so
super
even
cool.
Bring your parents too. It's a great way to bring them into campus.
Yeah, definitely. But for now, I think you're going to go off and do Around Florida.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and start off. So around Florida here, we're going to start to see much cooler temperatures starting off the mornings, but for now we're actually sitting very comfortable at around the mid-70s, which is actually seasonal for this time of year. 76 here in Tallahassee, Pensacola seeing 78. As you go south, we're going to start to break into the 80s. Fort Myers at 82 degrees, 81 in Miami, and 80 in Key West. So we are going to start to see those temperatures increasing over the next coming days. Past 24 hours, we've seen an 11-degree increase here in Tallahassee, 15-degree increase in Gainesville, and 12 in Jacksonville. So the entire state has been warming up because of this. Our humidity, though, has dropped significantly because we're seeing much more northern winds, 25% in Tallahassee, 25% in Pensacola, and it even extends into southern and central Florida, 33% in Tampa and 28% out in Fort Myers. The radar, not much to talk about, not even too much cloud cover throughout much of the state. So Sunshine State, that is her name. Drought monitor, we don't have much to talk about in terms of drought conditions as well because we have had significant rainfall over the past week. It's been since almost a week since we've seen the sun last. So we are glad that the sun is back. But we are going to start to see another front push its way in later into our weekend, and this will help to calm down some of the latest drought issues. But do remember that the drought monitor comes out tomorrow morning, so this was last week's drought monitor. Tonight we are going to dip down into the upper 40s, 48 here in Tallahassee, and actually the only spot on the map that you see a 40-degree marker on. As you head farther south, significantly warmer temperatures because they are going to get that sea breeze down by the water. So 60 in Tampa, 61 in Fort Myers, and even 74 in Key West. So what our high was today will be their low. Tomorrow we're going to maybe hit 80 degrees. I'm putting it down at 79 just to be on the safe side. 77 in Pensacola, 79 Tallahassee, 78 in Gainesville, while some of the central and southern cities will actually hit those 80-degree marks, 83 in Tampa and 80 degrees in Orlando. And that will be a common trend over the next couple of days. But for now, we're going to send it off to Michael. He's got us standing by at the desk.
Yeah, thanks, Jordan. So when I was talking about the national forecast, I did talk about the fire danger down towards the southwest. And you know, it's been very cool here in the eastern two-thirds of the nation this spring so far. But out towards the west, it's been very warm. Phoenix actually hit 100 degrees for the first time this year, and that's the fourth earliest they've hit 100 degrees on record. Now, since it's so warm down towards the southwest, they've had the fire danger. I did talk about that just a little bit in my national forecast. Now, the reason why they have such a huge fire danger down towards the southwest, one, they're in a extreme drought conditions right now. A lot of them are in severe drought, and there are a few places where there are extreme and exceptional drought. Exceptional is the highest category of drought you can ever get on the drought monitor. So that's the worst kind of drought you can get in any part of the country. Now, with the dry conditions, you're also getting, along with the heat, you also have winds because of the just because of the daytime, you get the winds higher, and with the winds, the heat, and the dryness, you have a very high fire danger, so you don't want to have any open burns out towards the southwest. So if you're traveling down there, make sure you don't have any open flames because you can easily start fires down there towards the southwest. But that's the main story down towards the southwest region of the United States. I just wanted to get more into that because I felt like I kind of skipped over that, them for a little bit. But for now, let's send it out to Sarah with the final look at our local forecast.
Thanks, Michael. So today was really nice. Here's a live weather stem of what's going on right now. The sun is shining bright. There's no cloud in the sky, so that high pressure system is really doing its job, making it clear outside. It was really nice. It was basically the best of both worlds. We had that cool morning and that moderate to warm afternoon. So right now it is 76 in Tallahassee, 73 in Quincy, Bainbridge up there at 77, but not too bad. They're not hitting that 80 mark. But we'll see some of the lower 80s as we get on through the rest of the week. Dew Point is relatively dry since we have that cold front that moved through, bringing these drier temps as the winds are coming a little bit from the north, but these winds will shift to the south, bringing in some more muggier temperatures. But right now, Tallahassee is at 38, Quincy is at 39, Apalachicola is down there at 59. The pretty much the warmest spot on this dew point map. They're seeing that because of those winds, and they're near their coast, so they're getting a lot of that moisture. Here's that drought monitor. As Jordan said, this is from last week, so this may change since we did see a lot of severe weather this past weekend. So pretty much it's not too bad. So we may see a bit of improvement over in the northern part of Tallahassee, but stay tuned to the show. We'll have that drought monitor for you for next time. Forecast for the winds, it was pretty calm outside, but as I said, those winds will shift to the south as we get into Thursday, bringing in a lot of that moisture, so the dew points will increase as we get onto Thursday, and really fueling that cold front, which will be seen into the weekend on Sunday. Futurecast showing no clouds, no cloud in the sky. Really nice day. We saw a few little bit more scattered showers, scattered clouds from that shift of the wind, bringing a lot of that moisture. That's why those cloud cover is there. But pretty much really nice day for your week. For the rest of the week, for the end of the week, it's going to be really nice to go out on Landis. Enjoy this as we get on to the rest of the week. Tomorrow, though, as I said, it's going to warm up. So 79 in Tallahassee, also in Quincy and Monticello. Bainbridge up there at 81, so they're hitting the 81 mark. So it's going to be a little bit warmer than usual, but once we get into the weekend, it will cool down. But for tomorrow, we will have a clear night, and because of that clear night, it'll be really cool. So if you have your 8 a.m.s or your early classes, you probably should wear a sweater. It's going to be a bit chilly, so it's going to be 49, but as we get into your afternoon classes, you're going to have to shed the layers. It's going to get warm, 73 at noon time. At 4 p.m., it's going to be a high of 77. So it's going to be a warm one when we get into that afternoon time, so be prepared to see those warmer temperatures and probably sweating to your classes if you wore a long sleeves t-shirt as you get into your morning. But the sun will stick around till Thursday, but once those winds shift to the south, that's when we're going to see that cloud cover start to build up. It's going to warm up, and as we see that warm up, Sunday is really going to be the big chance that we're going to see those rains. So make sure you make your plans on Saturday and Friday. Sunday, you may want to stay indoors. If you do have to go out, make sure you drive safely. But for the rest of the week, the sun will come back out. It's going to be really nice out. So 67 for the high on Monday. See that cool down. It's going to be really nice. And then it's going to slowly warm back up, though, to Wednesday at 79. But pretty much all nice temperatures with that cold front. But for now, I'm going to head it over to the desk where Michael is standing by waiting for me.
Yeah, so that 7-day forecast up until Sunday. Wow, that is an awesome forecast. Perfect for April, perfect for spring.
Yes.
The one issue with that forecast is the pollen's going to be abundant over these next 4 days. So that's the one issue with having sunshine and 80-degree weather in April.
Yeah.
But again, we like the sun. After the amount of clouds and rain we've had over these last few days, it's nice to see the sun once again.
It makes you feel more, I feel like for me, it makes me want to be more active. When it's the cloud cover, it's like, I don't want to get a class. I want to be lazy. Yeah,
it does affect your moods. When it's those cloudy kind of days, you feel very depressed and don't want to do anything. But when it's sunny like that, you feel very positive. Look at that. Thursday, awesome.
Yeah.
Now, as we go into Sunday, that's the cold front affecting our region. We'll get more into that, the severe weather threat. We'll see.
But follow us on Twitter for more updates for that cold front and that severe weather.
Yeah, don't forget to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/FSU weather.
And we're on live on YouTube Monday through Friday, so stay tuned to our show and watch us.
Yeah, and don't forget to follow us on the Instagram. Very nice posts probably the next few days with spring abound here in Tallahassee. But for all of us here at FSU Weather, I'm student meteorologist Michael Onen.
And I'm student meteorologist Sarah Converse. Have a great night.